Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coast Football Weekly. Today we have on the chairman of the CCF Board. Welcome to the pod, Brett Scrine.
Thank you, Adam. It's good to be here, mate. Thank you.
Now let's go all the way back. Where and when did football first start for you?
I think I was under sixes. I grew up in Sydney.
Yep.
I was at one club in Liverpool for a bit, and then we moved out to Mount Druitt, and I started playing with some friends from school at one club, and then I went to another club with some other friends, which was Lethbridge Rangers back then. So I think I went there when I was under 11s, and then I ended up playing first grade there. So they were in State League 2 in the time. So it was good. It was a good club. As I said, there was all my school friends and a lot of English people there.
Okay.
And it was really good. Good family club.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it.
Do you have any fond memories looking back at those early days of you playing that come to mind?
I do. I think it was the under 14s. We won the Champions of Champions.
Oh, yeah.
Which was pretty good. And the under 14s the year before from the same club won Champions of Champions. So it was pretty special.
Pretty special.
Back then, but it was, you could play local football and you could play rep football on a Sunday. So,
okay. Double shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started in Penrith on the Pean area, and then we moved to the Blacktown area. So it was good. It was plenty of football.
Did you ever play the coast back then?
I remember, I think I might have been 12 or 13. We did play at the coast.
Yeah.
And we played at EDSAC, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny that.
That might have been early days for the coast back then. That would have been, 1980.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
Yeah,
long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago, mate, yeah.
When did the move to the coast happen?
Donna and I, we lived in Campbelltown at the time, and we had 2 young kids.
Mm-hmm.
We always liked the coast. We had friends on the coast.
So you were familiar with the coast?
Yeah, we liked it, and an opportunity for a business opportunity come up. A company I was doing a bit of work for, they were based on the coast, and I sort of planted the seed and said, "Oh, look, is there any chance I can move up on the coast and start something?" And they were like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yep.
So that was 2001.
Right.
So Tyler was 6 months old, and Georgia was 2. So it was good. It was good for us, young family. We moved into a nice street with kids the same age. It was we're still at the same place. We still got the same neighbours.
Yeah,
it's just a nice place to live. The beach was up the road, which I really liked.
Yep.
So it's been a good move for us. It's been good for our family.
Were you still playing footy at that time, or when did you?
So I stopped playing just before I got married, which was I was probably 20, I think.
Okay.
And then I had a break, and then I started playing futsal.
Right. Okay.
So I just saw an ad in the paper, in the Campbelltown paper and local paper, and said, "Oh, there's futsal trial." So I went down.
Yeah.
And played a couple of years, probably I think 3 or 4 years with MacArthur in the State League. So it was good fun.
Is there a reason in particular why you sort of hung the boots up at an early age?
Yeah, it was actually. I started surfing. So
right.
I used to surf all the time, but I just enjoyed going surfing and just spending time at the beach.
Yep.
And I didn't want the football would take up all Sunday always.
Yeah.
So I thought, I want to do something different. So I just started doing that. It was.
Did you miss it at all?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I try and watch a game of football whenever I can. I still really like the game.
When you moved back to the coast, when did you first start to get involved in football again?
I moved here in 2001, and a mate of mine was playing at Barnstonworth over 35s.
Yeah.
And he just gave me a call. He said, "Come over and play." So I played, I think, 2 years there.
Yeah.
With them, and then my knee was no good, so I just stopped. And then my next door neighbour came over and he said, "Oh, I'm going to go and sign my young bloke up to play soccer." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So I took Tyler, my son, with him, and we went to Killarney. We went to EDSAC. We signed up, and I think he was under 5s, and they were looking for a coach, obviously. So I want to get involved. So I did 1 year coaching, and I remember I used to just like being down the ground, just sitting, talking to people.
Yeah.
I met Peter Preston.
Yeah.
And we actually worked out, we knew mutual people, which
just
was
through playing.
Playing and friendships. Like it was just, And then I remember I was there and I saw like the committee there. They were really like struggling for numbers for people to help out. And I said to one of the ladies there, I said, "Oh, look, I'm down here anyway. Like, do you need a hand with anything? Like, I'm happy to help out." And she goes, "Oh, no, we're right. We're right." I know, okay. And then within 5 minutes, the same lady, I heard her talking to someone else saying, "No one wants to help us. I'm sick of doing this." And I was like, "Hang on, I just offered my services." Like, so then the next year, Peter nominated me to become on the committee, and I did junior football manager for 1 year. And the president at the time, he'd just done 1 year, and he come up, he's like halfway through the year, and he said, "Oh, this is it for me. I'm done. My son's playing for Lightning."
Oh, okay.
So I said, "Oh, wow." I said, "Oh, who's gonna do the president, mate?" He goes, "Oh, I actually thought you might." I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
For 1 year, just as a football manager, not long on the coast.
Yeah.
Just step in as president. So I said, okay. So I nominated as president the next year. And we had a lot of people in my first year who had been on the committee for a long time, and you could tell they were burnt out. They were done.
Yep.
They'd done a great job. And so that first year as president was sort of the changeover. There was still some of the old people there who they'd had enough. That first year was a bit of a struggle. I rang Matty Gale, and he was like, my wife knew Matt through somewhere else, and we sort of run into him. So I rang him up and said, "Look, mate, I need a hand. Can you help me out?" He said, "Yeah, I'll give you a hand if you play 35s with me." And I was like, "Oh."
That was the deal?
Yeah, that's the deal. He's like, I said, I didn't really want to play, but I was like, and I didn't sign up, and I hadn't signed up, and he'd ring me up, "Have you registered yet?"
Yeah.
"Nah, mate." "You registered?" "Nah, mate." He goes, "Mate, I got my resignation letter right here. If you don't sign up, I'm done." So, all right. So I played probably another 4 or 5 years, 35s at Killarney, which was good fun.
Yep.
And so Matt come on. I think he did football manager for 1 year, and then he became vice president. And the club was massive. Like we were big then. We were pushing 1,000 players. I think we might have even got to 1,100 players at one stage. So Matt and I, we just went on this mission to sort of get to know everyone. We actually played 5-a-side or 6-a-side with some of the senior boys just so we could get to know them and how they ticked. And they'd been at the club for a long time, and we wanted to keep, the Killarney people there as much as we could. And we just set about. We changed the logo, we changed the strip. We did a lot of stuff. So a lot of the boys that played 35s with us, they got on the committee and helped out. We had some great women that helped us out. They were, we had a great secretary and treasurer. They were really good. Those important those roles, like executive roles within the committee, they're key positions, and you've really got to have good people to do it. So and we had good people. So
were you shocked at all? Obviously, having a history in Sydney with Druitt and clubs like that, then coming to the coast, was there quite a difference between the culture of the clubs on the coast compared to Sydney?
I think there is, just from the ethnic background, I suppose. It's like in Sydney, there was many different cultures
and nationalities linked to clubs.
Whereas on the coast, particularly back then, it was pretty much all Australian people or English, or it was that, and it was a bit more laid back. Which was I didn't mind. It was good. That's what I wanted. That's what I moved for the coast for. It's a sort of to be a bit more laid back. But it was good. I liked it. I still do. And I still go and watch Killarney now, and I like watching football, and it's to catch up with the people that I've met over the years, through Killarney. So
When you look at what Killarney were when you first arrived to, obviously the Killarney we know now, to the dynasty and everything that they've accomplished, did you ever think it would get to the stage where sort of their benchmark of local clubs around the coast?
It might sound a bit arrogant, but we didn't think that we'd be 7 in a row, but we did expect that we thought we'd win the league. When Chris come in, we sat down with him and said, "Look, this is what we want to do," and it was certain things we wanted to hit, and they did on the field. There were certain things off the field even to drive the culture. And now, I look at it now and it's like, it's probably 15 years or 10 years since I've been involved. And I see the guys that played senior football are now coaching their kids. There's guys on there who are on the committee.
Yeah, just giving back.
Yeah, so you hope to think that what you did or, what you contributed to the club, those guys look at that and go, yeah, hey.
It says a lot about a club, of people wanting to come back and give back. It definitely says a lot. During your time as president and being involved in Killarney, is that when you sort of thought you might lean into sort of coming on the board for the association, or how did that come about?
So I was president for 5 years, and then I said, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I was coaching like Central Coast FC and Mariners Academy at the time too, and it just, I reckon I probably did 5 or 6 years doing that, and just 1 year, I just need a break.
Yeah.
And then when you stop, you actually realise how much time it takes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's 3 nights a week. It's every second week in Sydney.
Especially in the rep program, like doing the travelling, it's your whole day.
13 boys. I was doing 13 boys, so every game's an early kick-off. So sometimes you're playing at Sutherland, you're leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning. Once I stopped doing that, and then I wanted to do other things for myself.
Yep.
So I did that. Had a bit of a break, and then Darren rang me one day and said, "Oh, have you ever thought about getting on the board?" I was like, what's involved? Blah blah. Sort of went through it all, and I just thought, I could do that.
Something that interested you.
It did interest me, and the biggest difference I think from being on a committee compared to being on a board is when you're in a committee, you're at the ground because you need to be at the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Now I go to the ground because I want to be at the ground.
Yeah.
There's not a necessity. It's a different sort of a role. You're thinking like down the track, the future of the game. How do we grow? How do we facilitate that growth? There's a lot of different things.
Yeah,
so I enjoy it. I like it. I just like to go around. Like I'll go around throughout the year. I'll go to a certain ground just to talk to one person.
Yeah.
Just catch up. How you going? What's the thing? What do you think of this? What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Just to sort of get some feedback. Yeah. How's your club going?
Mm-hmm.
We know the board might have an idea of what we're thinking about doing, and then we sort of maybe have conversations with people to see what their feedback is.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Well, you weren't on the board for long before you actually became chairman. I think you said a few months.
Yeah, I got elected in December, and I think by April or May, the chairman at the time stood down, and we sat in the room, and everyone was like, "Who wants to be chairman?" I was like, everyone's like sort of looking at each other.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't mind doing it, but I'm
new.
I'm the youngest guy here. I've been here the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
So, and then like Bernie Carboni at the time, he had resigned from the board, so I gave him a ring and I just said, look, any chance you could give me a couple of years to help us out? I just need to get my head around it, and it does. It takes you 12 months to get your head around who's who, what who does what. So he come on and helped us out, which was really good. He's strong governance, finances all over it. So it was good to have him on board.
Yeah, life member Bernie.
Yeah.
Were you surprised about how much actually went into sort of the association?
I always knew, because I remember before the change as such.
Yep.
I remember the old Central Coast Football, and then when it changed, when there was a whole new board change, when sort of led by Darren. I remember he gave us Matt and I this white paper of certain things, and we were like, we met with them, and and Matt and I were sort of shooting questions back at him, and just saying, what about this, what about that, which was great, but we could see that there was going to be a big change.
Mm-hmm.
Once it changed, I think the level of professionalism it went up.
Yeah,
like this wasn't just a local association. This is a business.
Yeah,
it did
treated
change.
As such.
Treated as such. It's a business. So and it's just it's gone on from there. So it's good, and
Yeah.
it just keeps growing.
Yeah, well, you've been in the role as chairman for 8 years now. What's kept you around for so long?
I think because it's just always something happening.
Yeah.
It's we try and extract every dollar that we receive off registrations. We try and extract it and put it out to our members to give them the maximum value.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things. There's been improvements at Plume Park, five-a-side.
There's always constantly plenty of things happening.
It's just a never-ending thing,
Mm-hmm.
So, exciting things coming up too. So
For people who aren't aware of what the board does, how would you describe what is the purpose of the board?
our role is to set a strategy in growing the game,
Mm-hmm.
delivering value to our members, looking at the future and see where the future of the game is. We're on track to hit 20,000 players
Mm.
in a few years, and we need to. We've been a big push on facilities at the moment,
Yep.
and that's been going for a couple of years now. We leased Mangrove Mountain,
Yep.
which has been great. Plume Park is being used a lot more for locals, which is really
Yep.
good. Obviously, you got to have a relationship with Football Australia and Football New South Wales,
Yep.
which at times has been probably a little bit tense,
Yep.
I suppose. But that's just the way it is, Sometimes you have to ask questions and they don't like the questions. Well, there's not much I can do about it, Like you got to come up with some solutions for us.
Well, that's it. Like my compat was something that Darren brought in. Obviously, Football New South Wales have their registration system. We chose not to go with them. There's been talks of being in the football family, so to speak, is what they say. We've been in and out of that for sort of like a few years. It felt like we have gone. We play football this season. How would you say our relationship is with Football New South Wales?
Oh, look, it's fine. It's we run a great comp. Our staff do a great job. We've got a small team here that do a sensational job, and you sort of just think of the last 2 weekends. We've had rain, and all of a sudden there's just fixtures turned up here, fixtures turned up there.
Yeah,
and
it's easy to wash out a fixture, but to move games around, move referees around, and make sure people get played, it's not an easy job.
It's massive. So our level of our standard, I suppose, is very high.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has got 100% referee coverage?
Yeah,
it's pushing 3 years now. So we have a high standard,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes when some of the things come from the governing body, you just look and it's like, hang on, our standards are probably a little bit higher than that.
Yeah,
sorry, but it's a weird situation because you're actually being told what to do.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't really want to do.
Well,
that.
I think my compat was as a registration system was great.
And that's the thing. Like, that's another thing about delivering value. So it's not just the players and the coaches and the volunteers that are using it. It's the families that use it, the grandparents who can turn up to any game because they know that it's on. It's already been scheduled. Like, they know where it is.
They're getting the notification if something happens.
It's the best thing. It's a good communication tool. And whether ours is better or theirs, it doesn't matter. For us, that's the one that we want to use.
Mm-hmm.
And we did decide to go with Play Football this year. And I think for me personally, my decision was I wanted to go with Play Football because of the restrictions that were put on us last year in regards to coach education.
Yep.
Our clubs being able to go into state competitions, even like last week or the week before, the association championships, we wouldn't have even got an invite.
No, that's right. Champions are champions,
absolutely.
Australia Cup. Right? There's
even
been a few years where we haven't been able to go in that.
Even coach education, we're on a bit of a roll with, Peter's done a great job in increasing the numbers of people and contacts with different coaches.
Yep.
And all of a sudden that tap gets turned off. So
same thing with referees. Our referees
absolutely.
Not getting accredited.
While it might have been hard for our registers at the start and our staff too, the bigger picture thing is we were going to miss out on too much. So that was the reason for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, another record-breaking year for registrations. We just keep growing. How do you think we can keep up with this? You've talked about facilities and stuff. Is it an issue?
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
So, you look at the last couple of weeks in washout games and grounds closed, even grounds closed during the week.
Mm.
Yeah, it's going to be harder and harder. It might even get to a point where teams can only train one night a week for some of the younger ones, which is not ideal.
Even with obviously being involved in, I know a bit more with council, certain hours on fields. I don't think that's changed much in recent years. As much as we've grown, that sort of hasn't grown. So there's just not issues for us with facilities. There's other issues like that probably people don't understand. Or
yeah, look, I think with the council, like we've got Alex is great with relationship with the council, and to drive policy change at council level, it's a slow burn. But you've just got to keep fronting up, and give them the data that's specific for our sport, so we can try and drive policy change. It is a slow burn, but hopefully we can see some benefits down the track.
And you mentioned the association championship, so we obviously went out to Mudgee a few weeks ago, had a very successful tournament, taking home 2 grand final wins. How good is that to be able to be involved in that? It was a first of its kind.
Yeah.
They're doing it again, so on and so forth. But to have something like that for our local players, super important, right?
Well, I think it is, because at CCF level, it's changed over the years. We were heavily in the NPL space, not so much in the local space.
Yeah.
And then we went fully out of the NPL space and didn't really do any football development, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So being invited to take part in that championships is important for our local players. Absolutely exceeded expectations.
First year,
I remember when Alex said, they're going to, Football New South Wales are going to do this association championships. I said, yeah, okay. He goes, yeah, well, we're going to go and win it. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So I spoke to Peter and I said, look, man, let's come up with a 3-year plan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're going to, of course you're going to go and try and win it, but let's come up with a 3-year plan. So in 3 years we can go there and really give it a good shake.
Yep.
Went out to Mudgee and just I was super impressed with obviously the players and their performances, which was great, but people from the coast, the parents, the families.
Yeah, everyone conducting themselves.
It was sensational. The coaches did a great job. It was just a good vibe.
Yeah.
I think it's a great concept for the local players. Some of those players might step up into something different next year, which is good.
Yeah.
But I think having that success in the first year sets a high bar.
Oh, definitely.
It sets a high bar for the following teams.
Yeah.
But we'll probably get in start a bit earlier even. So
we didn't really know what to expect heading into the competition. So next year, I think to be even more prepared, might get more interest from players, whether that be more A-grade players or whatever it could be. So hopefully, go and do better next year.
It's good. I mean, for me to go out to Mudgee, obviously to watch our teams play and watch football, which is great. But Football New South Wales had all their staff there, so I can actually have conversations with people that you mightn't get to have.
Yep.
So I was pretty much scooting around the grounds, talking to different people, talking to different chairmen from associations and their challenges, and some of the things that they've got going on, which are good. So it was good. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
How would you like to see Football New South Wales further support CCF and our local clubs?
Oh, definitely in the referee space. That's probably the biggest thing. I know. You look at the 100% coverage, it's actually probably 110 or 112% because we're doing NPL games also, and we don't get much support from Football New South Wales with that. Football New South Wales have got this 50-50 gender split target that they're looking at, and I don't think that's probably the right number. So, like the women's game on the coast is the fastest growing part of our game.
Most definitely.
So we need from them, what's a strategy to maybe bring more?
Keep them involved.
Whether it could be, it might be 5-a-side football on a Wednesday night, just so, because Friday night's going to get full by the sound of it. It's getting fuller and fuller with the 35s women. Just what's some other ways that women can play football.
You mentioned talking to some other associations around Football New South Wales out in Mudgee. In terms of Central Coast football, what do you think are some of the major challenges that we're facing?
Oh, obviously, field usage and space.
Yep.
We're okay now.
Yeah.
But we're gonna run out of space really quick, and there doesn't seem to be anything getting built in the future.
Yep.
We've got our facility fund that everyone pays into, and we're doing projects all. We're trying to do a project every year.
Yep.
In regards to, obviously, the drainage is the first thing. you know.
Working with Solutions Plus.
Yeah. So drainage is the first thing. If when you get to lights and things like that,
Yep.
there's just the cost blowout. That'd have to be like a 2 or 3 year project for us. But mainly draining fields. I think Alex made a comment at Mudgee. He said it's no good lighting up a puddle. So if we can sort of do as much drainage as possible, so we can give everyone as much chance
to get on.
Yeah, if it's raining 150 mils last night, like, let's be serious. Let's be fair. Like, you're not playing. It doesn't matter how good the drainage is. Plume would even struggle with something like that. So, I think just maybe lower the expectations in regards to the drainage and the projects that we've got going on.
Yep.
But that's just constant working with the council.
Jumping through hurdles.
Doing whatever we can. It might sound a bit a bit rude, but other sports are benefiting from the work that we're doing.
Yeah. When you talk about projects, we have one of our own currently underway, or getting ready to be underway. How important is that, the new building that Alex come on and talked about? What's that going to do for our local players?
Oh, it's amazing. Like, it's a massive investment for us. It's a big step. The building out the front there is probably end of life. Every time you see a bit of water trickling out, you go,
it's time.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What's this going to cost?
Yeah.
So, and the way that it's been designed with extra change rooms, a meeting place at the front, a better sort of catering facilities. It's gonna be amazing. And just, I think moving people throughout the venue is going to be a lot easier.
Yep.
The
plans look unreal.
Oh, it does. It's gonna, if we can get it over the line, it's going to be a good thing. But it's big investment.
Yeah. And talking more on going back to the association championships, it's been a while since CCF has sort of been involved in rep footy on the coast. Obviously, we have our Mariners Academy, we have Central Coast United, but do you think there would ever be a chance for Central Coast Football to have their own sort of academy that they run? It may be a bit saturated now with the two others, and you look at what we had with Coasties in the past. Is there a chance of the Coasties possibly coming back?
I actually brought this up at one of our last meetings, and about sort of coming off the back of the association championships and maybe setting up some sort of development pathway, I suppose. But it's like, what's your point of difference?
Yeah.
So what's our point of difference? Not really.
Yeah.
We're just going to offer the same thing. I don't think we'll ever get into the NPL space. Not with Mariners Academy and Central Coast United.
Yep.
Close by or in the area. It would just run the local competition.
Just drain it.
It would, and I don't think that's the right thing to do. Maybe down the track there might be opportunities for, if one of them drop out or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'd have probably a responsibility to take something up. But at this stage, probably not in the NPL space. No.
Yeah.
Maybe some development stuff definitely within the age groups for the association championships. Yes.
Do you think a point of difference could possibly be getting involved in Northern New South Wales, which is something that the Academy and United aren't currently involved in? Yeah,
look, I remember years ago when there was lightning and thunder.
Yeah.
It seemed to be split. Yeah, it didn't seem to be harmonious, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I think Lightning played in Sydney and then Thunder, which was, I think, the B team, were a Newcastle-based competition.
like it'd be hard for us to go into northern New South Wales because to be fair, like if a club come to me from the Central Coast and I was running northern, I'd say, yeah, you bring everyone or you don't bring anyone.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the deal. You're either all in or you're not.
Yeah.
You can't have your toes in. And
Nitpick.
we'll give it a taste and see what it's like.
Yeah.
I think you're either all in or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be hard for us to take a team or set up a program into Northern.
On more of our local competitions, we obviously have our men's Premier League, our women's Premier League. How do you see the health of them currently? We've made some changes to the women's as of late with the getting rid of the reserve grade, which I think has done wonders to that competition. Obviously, some changes to our men's competition too. How do you see the state of both of them?
Like the women's program, you know, when we did the review, there was, you know, we made some changes which obviously not everyone's going to be happy about.
Mm-hmm.
There was, you know, a bit of commentary, some negative stuff, which is fine, you know. But the bigger picture was we wanted our Women's Premier League to be a stronger competition.
Yep.
To try and have, you know, promotion and relegation and build it back up.
Yep.
I think it's starting to get there. There's still, you're always going to have strong teams and you're going to have teams that aren't as strong. That's just natural. I think we're sort of heading in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
In the women's game, after actually hearing Sarah Hudson the other week on the podcast,
mm-hmm.
The women's game is we probably need some women, like-minded women like her, to maybe sit down and look at what the future of women's football looks like.
Build a strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not, let's do it like the men. No, that's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at the Women's Premier League or even 35s and, you know, all age, there's modern families. It's different now. So, we need like-minded people like Sarah to sort of maybe sit down and come up with some strategies and just talk about how it looks and how it can work.
Yep.
Definitely can't be implemented by, or a strategy can't be developed from, you know, 6 middle-aged men.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So Gina's on the board at the moment,
mm-hmm.
which, you know, she's probably the female football advocate, which is great.
Yep.
So I think we just need to harness that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it going to look like in the women's space, I suppose.
Yep.
The men's, there's been a bit of a changing of the guard, I suppose. There's you know, 2 teams at the moment, probably Southern and Budgie Boy.
Yeah.
Probably the strongest. Berkeley Vale are sort of coming good.
Yeah, they're up there. Yep.
Yeah, so there's all this. He's getting paid and who's getting paid and whatever. Look, it's hard for us to control any of that.
Yep.
And that's the reason why we brought in the player point system, because to stop teams stacking, you know, you might get 5 NPL players come back from Newcastle. It just doesn't make the competition fair.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the teams in the Men's Premier League, you sort of look at the depth of their squads and where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
Are they locals from the club or did they come from somewhere else? You know, for me that's a big factor.
Yeah.
And there's been a fair bit of player movement over the last couple of years.
Yeah. I think that's too, like having Scott Snodgrass on the podcast as well. He talked about back in his day, you sort of at one club and you don't leave. And you've seen it everywhere, right? More people are more open to moving clubs if they're not happy with their situation. I think too, in terms of the competition, we for so long are used to Kalani winning everything. Now we look at different teams on top. Why are they there? There's a lot of questions around that. Do you think the point system is working how it was intended to?
Oh, it definitely is working to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we need to be a bit more stricter or maybe offer points for something else, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a look at that at the end of the year. It might even be a point where we go back to club championship.
Yep.
Where it might be just first and reserve grade.
Mm-hmm.
and that'll work out the relegation and promotion, because it seems like some clubs are heavily focused on first grade only.
Yep.
And the reserve grade and even the 23s, it's like that's just a sort of a byproduct.
Yeah.
So I think if we went to club championship again, maybe just first and reserve grade. So then you're actually building something, not just
your first team,
15 players or 16 players and just turn up and play and go home, So, but that's my point of view, and that's how it is at Killarney.
Yeah.
Not many people that have played at Killarney leave to go and play for another club. Even the boys that did win all those titles all the years ago, they're playing all age ones now. They like the club. They like the atmosphere.
Not even Ackers could sway people to go to East Gosford with him.
No, well, even Ackers the other day, he turned up the old boys' day and East Gosford jumping.
Whether or not they were doing the wrong thing or not, but Wangara, you look at their quick rise to the top in a sense, and then not having to field a team. That's sort of what can happen, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's unsustainable.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not building anything. It's just a quick hit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having discussions with Kevin about this. And to be fair, like from his point of view, like he said to me, my club hasn't been around for 50 years like your club. We don't have
that junior system, all the talent
we don't
pool
have the history.
Yeah.
And I get that. That's a fair point. But yeah, it's very hard to just, bring in players for whatever, and they have no really affiliation with the club.
Yeah, they have no ties. So if they do need to leave the club in a state worse than what they come, it's not really going to bother them.
No, it's not. It's they just I'm going to go and move to another club and play somewhere else. They're just there Tuesday, Thursday night, and Sunday for 3:00 kickoff, and then go home.
It's not often like where you talk about Killarney people giving back. You're not likely to see that from those players.
At the end of the day, it's community football. It's community football. It's $10,000 prize money. Good on you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. And you hear it a lot, especially I run social media, so I see it on socials a lot, people commenting why isn't CCF doing anything? What can you do when something's probably coming from third parties?
There's not much we can do, because all we have the power to do is to ask clubs to present their financials to us, and we'll review them, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much else we can do.
Yeah.
And you hear we can't make decisions on rumours.
Yep.
Oh, such and such said he's getting 500 or we can't act on that.
I haven't been in the comp for a long time, but I was playing when I was 17, so we're talking 11 years ago, and there was rumours of people getting paid back then. So these aren't new rumours that they may have gone to another level, some people say, but these rumours have been around the competition for not just the last few years. It's been there since I can remember.
Like you even think of, say, the NPL competition in Newcastle. It's an amateur competition. You don't, you play there, you don't sign a professional contract. But everyone knows that players get paid.
Yeah.
I don't know whether, I think, if there are people getting paid, and we have really no control over that, is it maybe, do we sit back and say, right, just do whatever? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's do whatever, but transferring players from NPL or whatever, there's still the point system.
Yeah.
And it might even be more. Like it might even be tighter for you. So I don't know. It's a really hard thing to combat, I suppose. It's a hard thing. It does become a bit unfair, I suppose. You get some of the clubs that are down the bottom of the table. You look at their playing list. They're mainly local players that played at the club all their life. You know, and to win that NPL or even the WPL, it's very hard to win that with just local players. Players who've just played at Killarney or at their club their whole life.
Yeah,
you do need that. You do need that mix of players that have played at the next level. And you've seen it over, over the years, that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
You know, they're not all NPL players, but you get half a dozen in there, it changes everything.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It's
yeah.
you know, we do want the better players playing here, obviously, but not at the cost of the game.
Yep.
Not at the
integrity.
Yeah, the integrity of the league, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Going the other way, we obviously had Alex on to talk about this, our CEO. Going into sort of the semi-professional or making the league something like what Newcastle does, is that just too out of reach for what the Central Coast is?
I think that's an unsustainable model for us.
Yep.
I think it's pretty hard it'd be hard for a club to explain to their members why an under 5 or an under 6, some of your registration fees is going towards one team or two teams. I think that's not a good model for community football.
Yeah. Grassroots football.
Yeah, grassroots football. It's not about that. You know, I spoke to, you know, a few of the chairmen and CEOs in Mudgee from other associations, and hardly anyone in Sydney gets paid. Like, just they're like, what? Get paid? Local league? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not a problem for them.
Yeah, because they have avenues where
there's an abundance of NPL teams.
Yeah.
You know, you can play 3 levels down there.
Yeah,
so,
where local players here obviously have to do what I do, travel to Newcastle or go to Sydney.
I think there might have been 50 plus players who were from the coast playing in either Newcastle or Sydney.
Yeah. It's quite a large list.
Their circumstances might have changed now. Like they might be, you know, might be living in Sydney now to go to university or Newcastle or whatever.
Yeah, study or.
So even if there's, say, half of those players, if we can get them back on the coast somehow.
Elevate the
absolutely.
local league. Yeah.
Yeah. You bring in better players, you're going to have a better league, a better competition. So
it's a struggle.
It is a struggle, and it's sometimes players follow coaches too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they played somewhere and the coach is giving them game time, they might change clubs. I'm going to go with him because I know I'm going to get a game. So
yeah, well, Ian McAndrew took over Rimba last year, and you look at Matt Hoare. He followed Macca because he's obviously respects Macca as a coach, and like to play under Macca, that's obviously what he wanted to do. So there is obviously a part of that where players are following coaches.
Yeah, and that's a big thing in the women's space.
Yeah,
it's you'd see teams pack up and move clubs. It was
Well, the introduction of Division 1 in women's, we've got the 6 teams, but it seems to be getting stronger. Do you think we're far away from a promotion relegation within between the 2 leagues?
I think just with the growth that's happening at the moment, within a couple of years, I think we'll definitely be doing that.
You just look at the age groups in themselves from women's. Instead of just having the 2-year gap these days, it's from when I was playing, there's just more leagues for them to play in. So I think that the structure is there for them to see that pathway now of wanting to go and play first grade for their local clubs, which makes such a big difference, right? So they don't have to leave. Yeah,
I think it's you walk into a club and you know everyone there, and I think that's a good thing.
Now, a lot of the coaches or players I get on, we do some fan questions. A lot of them get asked about a 5-a-side team. I'm going to ask you.
God, mate, you're not.
I'm getting you to name a 5-a-side team of people who have worked on the board with you.
Shane Knight.
Yeah, I was going to say Shane Knight's got to be number 1.
He's on there.
Do you put yourself on there?
Nah,
no,
I'm done.
Is there any other players that come to mind?
Well, I never saw Matty Highway play, but apparently he was pretty top. He was top shelf, so he'd be up there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you got 3 more names for us?
Jeez, mate, that's a tough one. Dye's in goals, mate.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of board members during my time.
Yeah, mate, that's a hard question for me.
How much has the board changed in the 8 years since you've been involved?
Yeah, it has changed. People come onto the board sometimes and probably have their expectations of what the role is probably different to what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't be pushing your own agenda through your own club.
Yeah, well, most people become involved in a local club from some sense.
That's they've always made. Well, I think everyone's just about come from from a local club, and that's fine, you know. But when you step into that board, you've got to put your 23 or 24 club hat on.
Yeah.
You know, and anything that I've ever had or if anything ever come up with Killarney, I just say I'm out. I'm out of this. I can't make a comment.
Can't speak on this. Yeah.
Can't say anything. So it has changed. I think, and it does need to change also.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're talking about the growth in the women's game. You know, female representation is very important.
Yeah.
We've always only had one female on there.
Yeah.
The way that this business is run by the staff, like everyone that works here, and Alex is overseeing everything. You know, it's run really well.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have to make a lot of big decisions. You know, we don't get involved in judiciary. We don't get involved in
competitions,
operations. We don't really even get involved in that. That has changed a bit. When I first got on, there was some things we talk about, and I was like, it's probably not relevant to why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's moved on. You know, it's the three things, mate. It's, you know, it's always about facilities, coaching, referees. They're the three main points that we're always talking about.
Do you think there's enough people wanting to come on the board? Would you like to see more people trying to step up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even at club level, it doesn't seem to be like a shortage of volunteers for coaches, managers, gear steward or whatever. It's those executive roles where it's president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, maybe football manager. They're key roles within a club.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably the hardest positions to fill. Saying like the board, it can't. You know, you've got to meet a criteria to actually sit on the board. And if you've got professional qualifications, fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think people quite understand what we do. It's not like, you know, sizing shirts or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not like a local club.
It's not like that. It's completely different. It's more high level. It's looking to the future, looking at things that have happened over the past. How can we change it to make it better?
Mm-hmm.
Just looking for different opportunities. We're always, you know, a piece of land might come up for sale somewhere. Let's go and suss it out.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Can we do that?
Yeah.
No, I can't do it. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Constantly looking.
Looking at different things. And yeah, I'll meet with that, like speak with Alex every week about certain things and just say, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And he might go and do some research and come back and go, yeah, no, it's a no-go or whatever. So I think, yeah, we definitely need people on the board. Like I've been on the board for 8 years. Is it healthy? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
new people, new opinions.
Different ideas,
yeah.
You know, like different experiences. I think if you've got, you know, a board that's been sitting there for a long time, maybe get complacent or
bit routine-ish.
Routine, yeah, just ticking boxes.
Yeah.
Definitely new people is a great thing.
What would you say to anyone who is thinking about coming on board but maybe a bit hesitant?
You'll find you'll have a bit more free time. Because as I said, you know, you don't have to be at the ground.
Yeah.
You go there because you want to be there.
Yeah.
Our meetings are, you know, once a month, and we sit down. I have sat in meetings up until midnight at times on big things. But basically, you're making decisions for everyone. You're trying to deliver value for everyone. But yeah, you're looking at the bigger picture stuff.
Yep. 8 years as chairman, is there anything you still want to achieve, or is there anything in mind that you want to achieve before you step down? Probably
be nice to see the building done out the front. I think that'd be a good thing. Like we've done so much over the last, since I've been on board.
Yeah.
You know, opportunities just come up, and like we've done so much work at Plume Park, and it's a constant. It's just keeps
constantly
rolling.
Improving,
Constantly improving. And like I remember we did some upgrades up here. We put some pathways in, and I think we did the back change rooms and a few bits and pieces around the joint. And there's one of the senators come out to do a final inspection, and he's like, "Oh wow, this is a great community facility. Do you think do you need anything else? New grandstand or?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh no, we probably want to try and build some five-a-side courts over there so we can sort of bring in an income for 12 months."
Yeah.
"Oh, okay. How much do you think that'll cost?" I sort of give him the figure. Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah.
And so, like, just that conversation, that's how that all started.
Yeah.
And it rolls into something else, into something else, into something else.
Well, I mean, this place has come a long way since I was out here playing reps as a youngster, and we had that old green building where we're sitting now. Like, it's just completely different.
It'd be nice to hit 20,000.
Yeah, 20,000. That's a big number.
That's like a big number. That's we'd be probably the third biggest association in the state, which is pretty good.
Yeah, well, we're on track. So
hitting 20,000. Just hope clubs can continue to grow.
Yep. Well, without the clubs, we're nothing, right? We want to see them thrive.
Yeah, I think just see the clubs. Everyone be successful, I suppose, and success is based on different things, but
relative to each club.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would be good is we get access to Tuggerah Regional Centre. That'd be pretty good.
Well, I mean, we've just come from Mudgee, and you look at what that complex is, and all those fields were unbelievable out there. Even possibly hosting the association championships one year. I know they've locked in Mudgee for next year, but if that's something that could come to the coast, how good would that be?
Yeah, like you look at that facility, and whoever designed that and built that and had the idea of that is a smart person for a regional town. That just brings money to the town.
Yeah.
You look at how many people are there while we were there, and there's a lot of sporting events that happen there throughout the year.
Yeah. Well, even NRL games.
It just buys the town money.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps their businesses thriving, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and there's adequate parking, unlike probably what Tuggerah has.
Yeah, like the parking was amazing. It was like going to the Easter show, wasn't it?
And it is still close to the town centre, right? Like it's all very close by. It's all very convenient. No, I was very impressed by that, and then the fields itself were unbelievable.
Even you look at the space around it. There's room for expansion there too. So I don't think that's the final project. They've got there. I think there's definitely more to come. So
could we see an expansion of Plume Park? Maybe another Plume Park.
Maybe another Plume Park might be a thing. But it seems to be. It would have to be in the north, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did when we were going through all the facility strategy, we did population hotspots and went through statistics and everything like that, and everything seems to be heading north.
Mm-hmm.
So I think something in the north would be good.
Yep.
Time will tell, mate.
Yeah, wait and see.
Time will tell.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, Scrine. You've obviously achieved a lot in your time at CCF here on the chair, and we can't wait to see what you do going forward.
This is it, mate. Thank you.
Cheers. We have no NPL fixtures this weekend, but our WPL competition is set for round 19 of action as we tick down to the final 3 rounds of the season. All 4 fixtures will be taking place on Sunday, with the most northern game going down at Wadalba Sports Complex as Kanwal and the Entrance meet for a bottom-of-the-table clash, as both these teams enter their 3rd encounter of the year with 1 win each under their belts. Making our way down the coast, we have newly crowned league champions Killarney welcoming Southern to Edzak Oval. The back-to-back champions will be determined to finish another season undefeated and build maximum momentum heading into this year's final series. Umina and East Gosford also goes down at 2:45 at Umina Oval. Umina coming off a season-best form disregarding last week's forfeit, the Eagles will look to shake things up against the visitors East Gosford, who search for another second-place finish in 2026. Our final game and our match of the round sees Kincumber hosting Terrigal at Frost Reserve. This is a matchup we are highly likely to see come finals time, as the home side enters with an edge, recording 1 win and 1 draw over Terrigal so far in 2026. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coast Football Weekly. Please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and leave a rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. As always, we'll catch you next week for another episode.